Hello there. Here we are live once again on Saturday afternoon. And I am in my classroom, as you can see in back of me. The classroom is an art studio. And I broadcast from that art studio. So welcome, welcome, welcome to SHE, Self-Help Energies for Personal Development. And this is my iTunes program number 20. So you can find me on iTunes as well as find me here on Google Plus under Creating Calm Network. I'm so happy to be part of this wonderful network of broadcasters who want to uplift the world one broadcast at a time. Isn't that awesome? Now, I bet you wonder about today's topic, which is how to catch the Cannonball Express to a better, fantastical, wonderful life. Well, this is how you're going to do it. So the Cannonball Express is just fast, fast, fast. You can do it in a blink of an eye. So today's topic is all about that. And I wanted to first, though, share with you some learning that you had on last week's topic, because it takes a while for everything to sink into our wonderful human brains. So I'm just going to review that. So last week's topic was how to just change your life from a ho-hum life to a vibrant one, full of energy and enthusiasm and upliftment, where you jump out of bed and look forward to every single moment of your day. Well, that was last week, and remember about last week that just, same old, or my life is okay the way it is, there's nothing really that wrong about it, is a silent killer. Ooh, yes, it is a silent killer. But what it is it's a killer of passion and self-discovery and all the many, many wonderful, wonderful things in life. So it's better to get over having a just same old life and think a little different. Think a lot different. So this week, you're probably thinking more of, I want things to be better in my life. And so that's like a level 2. So level 1 was, the whole hum life is just fine. And level 2 is going to be, I want things different in my life. Then if that still hasn't gotten your attention by your higher, most expanded self, we're going to go to level 3 next week. And level 3 is, I'm sick and tired of what's happening here to me and I want something else. That's where you stand up and you find yourself being counted for wanting change and wanting it now. So all 3 of those broadcasts have something really cool for you, really wonderful for you. So the learning last week was that if you're on the ho-hum life, or the mild stage of thinking, I just kind of want something different. Well, that's kind of wishy-washy, isn't it? Yeah, it's wishy-washy thinking. And so let's see what you could do about that. I know, in the deeper part of you, you do want to change that. So the way you change it, and I called it the magic bullet last week. So the magic bullet to shift out of the whole hum lifer, it's just the same old, is number 1, trumps everything, is get happy. All the self-help gurus, all the self-help books is not going to help you as much as just plain get happy. I've tried it and it works. Get happy. Find things to be happy about. Get that vibe up there. Happiness and appreciation and gratitude are the highest vibrations that you can attain. And remember, when you have those high vibrations, that's what you're going to magnetize more to yourself. So just get happy. And number 2 in the learning here was to do the simple things and practice. Boy, do I ever practice all the time. So if you need more of a push towards the happiness, you can always do that 17-second process I talked about. And that will change your vibration. It's a wonderful, wonderful process. So I hope you did that. You need to do it. You really do. I do it all the time. And then number 4 in the learning was to look around to things to appreciate, just anything to appreciate, and that will lift your vibration. Number 5 in the learning was to make happiness a habit. Have you looked at your habits of thought? What do you kind of dwell on and focus on? Well, just make happiness a habit. And number 6 is do that process, that 17-second process, which goes into the 68-second process. Do it 2 or 3 times a day, and you will find tremendous changes in your life. Now, a very productive day is when you line up your energy on positive magnetizing things. And then you'll attract more of what you do want and less of what you don't want into your life. Now, I think the main thing that shows up continually in my life, every morning I do a writing in my wisdom journal, and every night I do an inventory in the same wisdom journal. So the thing that constantly turns up is happiness. So happiness really does trump everything. If you can get that high vibrating feeling of happiness, and I know you can. So now on to this week. So this week is where you're realizing that things really, really do need to change. In fact, you do want things to be better in your life. And you may be feeling trapped by fear. Now, being trapped and feeling trapped are really 2 different things. Or are they? If you're feeling stuck or trapped, that question probably doesn't occur to you, because when you're focused on being limited, it is very difficult for you to see what is happening and what your point of perspective is, because of the emotion of fear. That fear, yeah, it's quite a strangly emotion. Ooh. So if you feel trapped, you feel pretty bad, and you probably are thinking of yourself as a victim. Oh, all these things happen to me. Oh, poor me, the littlest violin. Have you seen that? That goes like that. Littlest violin playing the poor me thing. So if you are feeling that, guess what? The trap just gets tighter. Yes, it just gets tighter. So, well, guess what? You really aren't alone in this. There are others who have similar feelings. And some of the feelings you or somebody you know might be having and feeling trapped about is I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I'm just not smart enough, or I don't have time to change my life. Little secret here. If you changed your life, you'd have a lot more fun, because you're spending a lot of fun spinning around in that victim triangle. Or it takes money to change, and I just don't have any. Guess what? You're not going to get any with that attitude. Or you may have gotten bad advice from somebody you trust. Guess what? You vibrated, you created them. Or maybe you're thinking life is just too hard. Every day is just too hard. All these hard things happen. Guess what? You're magnetizing that towards you. Or you might be thinking you try and you try, but nothing works. Well, I got a solution. After all, I'm Aunt Sandra Longmore, the Energy Master. And you can find out more about me at my internet site for great solutions. Everything is under my name, sandralongmore.com. But now I bet you want to know how to escape from that trap of feeling stuck. Well, first of all, ask yourself this question. Are you really stuck? Or do you just think you are stuck? Now, this is the first step in raising awareness in your consciousness so that you can see that there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel. And you could change your situation by introducing choices. Yeah, the light of making choices. So think about that. Think about those who in history or in your life who seemed very stuck. Perhaps they were in an impossible position, but they did just got unstuck. Like Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years of his life in a real life prison. And he came out of it a changed man who went to liberate his country and became one of the most influential people on the planet. Some would say he was stuck from expanding into a higher version of himself because of his surroundings. But he actually thrived there. He found a way to get unstuck and come out of that situation as a completely different person. Now, I know your situation is probably not that heavy. You don't have bars around you in a jail, but sometimes it probably feels like that. But take inspiration from Nelson Mandela. He figured out how to do it, and I know you can figure out how to do it. I'm sure he and both you have days of confusion and doubt, as most of us do. And but I think he literally did not see his circumstances as a trap, and that's the secret, not to see it as a trap. So also, number 3 is decide you want a change and that you want something new in your life. Tell yourself this simple sentence: I've decided. I've decided. And then look for things that support your decision around I've decided. So adapt a sense of discovery and expectancy. When something shows up that supports your change in attitude, celebrate that higher feeling, because then you know law of attraction is always working in the background there, matching your current vibration, and you'll get more of finding out how you can expand and get into a better spot in your life. So celebrate anything that is a higher feeling than you currently have. Sometimes it's just little increments that go up, but the celebration is really, really important. So because the more you're aware of better feelings, the more those better feelings will come into your life. They'll be like magnets coming into your life. And you'll see that your life is really starting to shift into a better place. And it's really exciting. And then number 4 is just work out your progress. Notice your progress and your related feelings on paper. So you could keep a journal. You know, I told you earlier I do keep a journal. I call it my wisdom journal, where I write my dreams and my thoughts upon waking up in the morning, and I set the intention and do an inventory at night. I'm pretty almost stellar on that, doing it on a regular basis, and it makes a big, big difference in my life. And the questions I ask myself, you might be interested in these and write them down even, or you can listen to this broadcast and stop it and take your notes. So the questions to ask yourself is, number 1 is, how did I feel successful and happy today? See, that's kind of setting it up. How did I feel successful and happy? If you have trouble digging for something, just start with 3 things. And it could be something as simple as I was happy that the traffic was good for me. I was successful in getting through traffic today. Just anything that you feel successful, and you'll find that it builds and builds and builds as your success and feelings of success start to build. Then the next question I say is, what occurred today that I could pat myself on the back about? That always feels good, to pat yourself on the back. And then I ask myself, and you can ask yourself, what do I feel grateful for today? Because remember, grateful and appreciation are a high vibrating feeling, and the higher the feeling, the more you attract into your life. It's the law. So after that, I say, now what challenges or wobbles occurred to me in my life today? Some days there's none. Isn't that awesome? A lot of days recently there isn't any. So I know I'm getting better and better at my practice. So I write those down, and then I say, what did I learn today? What did I learn today? And I write that down, and then I say, what is my intent for tomorrow? How can I treat myself to a reward? Your subconscious loves rewards. And I use a lot of images for my rewards. I have a whole bunch of stickers I use, and I'm on a diet, so I don't use food anymore, but I use other things, like, sometimes just watching a certain TV program, or stopping at a store. Anything that you feel is reward, smallest thing or the biggest thing, like a brand new computer, which I'm going to be getting pretty soon. So then, when you have thoughts of being stuck, remember, always remember this, you're not a victim. You are never the victim. But you are in charge of your thinking, and by practicing and looking for better feeling thoughts, you'll be able to shift your point of perspective to get more of what you want and less of what you don't want. Now, this is going to take practice, but practicing is going to be fun. And if you look at your life through the lens of not taking yourself really, really seriously, have fun with this, play with this, your thinking will lift faster. This way of thinking is going to lift your thinking from others cause your problems and put you in that driver's seat of happiness and success, because really it is your own responsibility. And this makes a life full of really beauty. We just have an innate sense of beauty, of wanting beauty in our life. And wondrous, absolutely wondrous new discoveries. Nature really plays with me when I start doing my practice, which I do all the time, like I told you. I'm getting kind of addicted to it. Like this morning, nature, I saw a flicker by the side of the road as I was driving. Now, a flicker is a woodpecker, and the flicker is my Native American sign for my astrology sign, and that is I'm a Cancer, so it's my birthday's in June. So here I saw a flicker, and I thought, what are you doing here? I've never seen one before. And then I looked up and I saw a hawk. So those kinds of things I think are just wondrous. I love the way nature plays with me now. And I love that I notice. It's probably always been playing, but maybe I didn't notice so much as I do because I practice a lot. And you too can practice and have so much fun. Now also know, this is a real important one, know that your emotions are your guidance system. Your emotions were given to you by the Creator, by all that is, as a guidance system. And they're wonderful, the emotions are. They're wonderful. They're like a score for a symphony. They're beautiful, the emotions. The good ones, the bad ones, the high ones. You can just play them, just like a beautiful, beautiful song. And most of all, just be easy on yourself, because remember, a life of ease, life of flow is a high vibration. And every day you're going to find yourself in a better position of enjoying life more from the standpoint of appreciation and gratitude, rather than from that victim standpoint. Now, I know that you've heard this before. I talked about it before, the G2L sandwich. So when you get kind of hungry, this could be a reward too. When you get kind of hungry, make up this G2L sandwich. And I'm going to give you the recipe right now. So the recipe for GTL is the top, the top of the sandwich is gratitude, and the bottom of the sandwich is gratitude, or something you're going to be grateful for. And then the middle of the sandwich, the filling is love. Love. So grateful and grateful create a wonderful feeling that just fills you from the inside out of the feeling of love. So to sum this all up and to help you with the learning, I think the best way for you to get out of any trap where you're feeling fear and unease in any relationship or event is to avoid falling into the trap in the first place. Avoid falling into the trap in the first place. You see it there. Don't fall into it. Now, I've listed several tools here and inspirational things that you could try. However, if you still feel trapped, know from the deepest, deepest part of you, that part way inside there, that one, that you're not the victim. You never were. And that your highest, best self has always got your back. It's always urging you in the way of least resistance for you to expand. It's showing you things all the time, trying to get your attention. And that's where practice comes in. And lastly, know, once you make progress towards feeling and progressing a better way of feeling about anything, you're not going to be able to go back to the old ways because they will not feel good. Ooh. When I get those old feelings, I go, oh my gosh, because I know I used to feel that quite a bit. So they're just not going to feel good anymore. So once you've been practicing the good feeling thoughts, the old ones will just not work anymore. They're going to be uncomfortable. So practice this better feeling thought, and that's the key, turning the key now, to springing the trap. So then in my broadcasts here, I like to always add, how do I do this successfully, Sandra? How do I do this successfully? Well, first of all, I got a throat here. That's it. First of all, know that being a victim in a trap is not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to get you anywhere. You're just going to stay in the trap. No matter how much you whine or bargain or cry to others, you're still in that darn trap. And in the trap, you're not going to make any progress towards your goals or your dreams or any feeling of happiness. It's a trap, by the way. That's its job, to keep you trapped in there. So, step one is pretty obvious again. Get out of that darn trap. It does not suit you. It is not your color. It is not a pretty thing. It just isn't fun being in the trap. And not only that, life does not happen in the trap. It happens outside of the trap. Another thing you can do is look at successful people who have overcome the traps of their lives, like Nelson Mandela. And take inspiration. Take inspiration where you can find it. I know there's lots of inspiration on Facebook. I have so many friends that post things that just delight me and help me feel a better, optimistic thought if I'm not feeling that. And I just love Facebook for many reasons, but I like that. So this is a couple of quotes also that I think will inspire you, that I know is going to inspire you. The first one is by Shel Silverstein. And I read out of his book to my art students at summer camp, and they absolutely love Silverstein. He is so funny. So what he says in his quote here, and I quote him, is listen to the must, child. Listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shoulds. Listen to the impossible, the won'ts. Listen to the never haves. Then listen very close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be And this next quote is by Robert Fulghum, and it's from All I Really Need to Know is What I Learned in Kindergarten. It's kind of true if you watch a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old. You know, and this is, I'm quoting here, I believe that imagination is stronger than knowledge, that myth is more potent than history, that dreams are more potent or powerful than facts, that hope always triumphs over experience, that laughter is the only cure for grief, and that I believe that love is stronger than death. So put your foot down. Say, I've decided. You know that song, these boots are made for walking? Well, get those boots on and walk all over it and say, I've decided, I'm going to change. Buy the journal. Get on Facebook and put some inspirational quotes yourself. For heaven's sakes, don't post on Facebook how horrible you're feeling. Others who feel that same vibe is going to just comment. So lift your vibe. Lift your vibe and put your foot down and say, I've decided. Know that the Creator, all that is, gave you those emotions for your pleasure, for a guidance system to lead you to more closely to what the Creator wants you to be. And most of all, have fun. Have fun with this way of thinking and believing, and get out of that victim mentality. It is not fun. It's just not fun. And it's not fun to hear about either. When I hear somebody talking about it, I just go, you know, I got to get upstairs, or got a phone call, or I'll call you back, or whatever. And pretty soon they're not going to do it anyway, because if you're going around with a happy vibration and feeling good, they're not going to want to talk to you because you don't match their vibration. They're the ones that's going to post on Facebook about how horrible they feel and all this horrible drama that's happening to them. So just have fun. Have fun with this process. That's what life's all about. Just get up and walk out your door and do something. Do something. Do anything to change the vibe. And get on that Cannonball Express that will free you from your inner traps. So now you might be wanting some more practical application to getting out of the trap. Well, I did give you quite a bit already, how to get out of the trap you set for yourself. But the best practical application is not in the broadcast. It's not coming out of my mouth. The best practical application is in your heart, the ones you experience. It's not others, what others experience. It's only your personal experience. That's where real change happens. So I got another quote here that I think you'll like. Aristotle, he said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Very smart man, huh? Knowing yourself, experiencing it from within, and then it's your experience, and then it feels really, really super good. So this is another quote here. It's about Steve Maraboli, and it's from Life, the Truth, and Being Free. So he says, do you remember a child you said to another, I dare you? Or I double dare you? Well, here I'm going to triple dare you to do this. So when a new day begins, dare to smile gratefully. When there is darkness, dare to be the first one to shine the light. When there is injustice, dare to be the first one to condemn it. When something seems difficult, dare to do it anyway. When life seems to beat you down, dare to fight it back. Say, I've decided. When there seems to be no hope, dare to find some. Hope is going up the ladder, the emotional ladder, to better things. When you're feeling tired, dare to keep going. You know, I do want to add a few things here because also it's a really good idea when things are totally overwhelming is to take a nap because your vibration is always higher when you wake up. And when times are tough, dare to be tougher. And that might be tougher from the inside, from just inside decision. I've decided I'm going to do this. It's going to be me now. And when love hurts, turn around and dare to love again. When someone is hurting, dare to say an inspiring word or change the vibration as best you can. When another is lost, dare to help them find a way. When a friend falls, dare to be the first to extend a hand. When you cross the path with another, dare to make them smile. When you feel great, dare to make somebody else feel great too. And really, when you feel great, you just shine an inner light that just feels good to others. When the day has ended, dare to know you've done your best. And dare to be the very best you can. I know you can. So until next time, until next week, go for the gold and just get out of the traps of life. Your life from a higher vibration is more fun anyway. It really is. Now next week will be that level 3 I talked to you about on how to jumbo jet propel yourself out of anything that's holding you back when you're at a trapped tipping point. So that's kind of like the last straw, and you're at a tipping point. And now you're going to find out all about that next week. I also have a special guest next week, Mary Lynn Monroe, the master storyteller, and she is creating a story now, especially just for you and the She broadcast. So I'm happy to have her next week. And in the meantime, you can catch me on Facebook, Sandra Longmore. Email me, sandralongmore@sandralongmore.com, or look me up on the internet site. And everything's under my name. And I got something pretty exciting that I'm really excited about. Is I'm putting together a beginner's coaching bundle. And I'm using Jigsaw Box, which is on the internet. And so far I have, I think, about 25 modules that you can work through and do some self-coaching and create change in your life. And then when you're ready, and then you can hire me as a personal coach, and we can go over some of these modules, and it's going to be great and so much fun to see you uplift your life and get more of what you do want and less of what you don't want. So this is me, Sandra Longmore, signing off for today. Oh, by the way, one more thing. I'm also on iTunes, and the broadcast is called She, but you can find it under my name, Sandra Longmore. And I'm on Stitcher Radio, so you can get my She broadcast on Stitcher Radio too. And again, you search just under my name, sandralongmore.com. So thanks for listening, and have a fantastic, fabulous, wonderful, happy, non-trapped day. Bye for now.